Do you ever speak English too fast and lose your message? You start strong, but your words run ahead of your thinking. If the answer is yes, this is for you. I'm Coach Dave, founder of the English Speaking Gym and the Fluency Code. I help professionals stop freezing and speak with confidence in real situations. In this lesson, you will learn the power of the pause in English speaking. I will also show you where you can practice this and get feedback on your speaking. Let's begin. Power of the pause. How silence makes you sound more fluent and confident in English. The promise today: you will learn when to pause, learn the right moments to stop rushing and stop speaking between sentences and ideas to improve your delivery. You will learn how long, and really, it's 1 to 2 seconds. That's it. Don't pause for too long, that seems weird, and don't avoid pausing because that sounds like you're nervous and your listener might lose what you're saying. The sweet spot is 1 to 2 seconds. And confidence. You will use silence to command authority and remove anxiety. This is something that in those high pressure situations, the meetings, interviews, presentations, it's so important to remain cool, calm, and confident. And mastering pausing is such a powerful way to do this. Now, the great myth. Most people think fluency equals fast speech. They think if I talk fast, I must be fluent. That's not true. We're conditioned to believe this. I don't know why people believe it, but if you speak fast, it doesn't make you more fluent. It just makes you sound rushed. It makes you make more mistakes. You lose track of what you're saying. You can't stay on top of your thoughts, and your listeners start to lose interest fast. By pausing, you demand respect. You command the room, and you are more confident and authoritative, especially in high-pressure situations. It's not true. Fluency equals fast speech. The truth, real fluency, is control under pressure. Control is defined as the proper combination of timing and pauses. So, control equals timing plus pauses. When you time your speech, you don't have to use a clock or a watch, but just by being aware of how fast you are talking. Are you speaking too fast? Do you start to sound like this? That makes you appear nervous, anxious, stressed. If you speak like this, it also doesn't sound great. You want to find a good medium. I like to use the example of a river. A river flows. Your English is the same. Sometimes it goes fast, sometimes it goes slow, but it keeps going. Use pauses to ensure that your river flows smoothly. So, this is the correct way to look at it. Control, timing plus pauses. Strong speakers pause naturally. Before they answer questions, they pause. Between ideas, when they are describing, telling a story, they pause at key moments. They do this naturally, but it doesn't happen overnight. It's a skill, and like any skill, you can learn it. Weak speakers, people who don't command the room, they lose their audience, they wonder why people are not paying attention. They rush speech. They speak too quick. And I've made this mistake before. A few years ago, I always would speak too fast. I had many ideas. I wanted to explain everything going on in my head. I would lose my listener. And I would wonder, why? Am I boring? Am I uninteresting in some way? I don't know. Makes you worried because why are they not listening? Now I look back, maybe I was boring, I don't know, but I was speaking too fast, that's for sure. And after learning about how to control and coaching others to do this, I understand controlling your speech, your pacing, your tone, all of these elements build you into a powerful speaker. And for many people, that's the difference between making deals, between advancing in their career, between getting jobs, succeeding in interviews, building relationships, networking, all of it. Just by improving this skill, so many opportunities can arise. Filling the silence. This is another big one. Silence can make you feel uncomfortable. So instead of embracing it, you fill it like this. You just, you might cram filler words and just unnecessary words and noises into each opportunity to pause because it makes you feel uncomfortable. I can guarantee you, with practice, with repetition, it does become easier and it no longer feels uncomfortable with repetition. Losing structure. This is a big one. If you speak too fast or you don't pause between ideas, you lose structure. That means you lose the train of thought. You might be talking about one thing, now you're talking about something different, and it's all over the place. Just like I used to. I would connect ideas in my head. For me, they made sense. But for my listener, they would wonder, why are you talking about this now? 5 seconds ago, you were talking about that. And I would then have to explain, because this, because of something that happened that they didn't even know about. But in my head, it made sense. This happens when you're rushing, when you're losing structure, when you're filling the silence. And weak speakers also forget words. This happens a lot, especially when they're nervous, by overrunning their brain's capacity to keep up, which I missed here somewhere. They constantly freeze and hit gaps in their speaking. So just by talking, by rambling, by filling the silence, they start to forget what to say or even how to say it. Again, this is especially relevant if you're learning English, but it also happens to native speakers. This is not a language problem. This is a confidence issue and a hesitation issue. And that's why, by applying the power of the pause, you can overcome what weak speakers struggle with. The real problem, it's not your English level. If you understand me now, your English is good. You've spent a long time to get here, and you should be proud of how far you've come. It's a lack of control in real-time speaking. This is anxiety, lack of confidence, high pressure. Those moments make you forget what you've learned. You start to panic and freeze and hesitate and overthink. Now, this is what we train for, is to remain calm, handle the pressure, trust yourself. And when you do that, your fluency comes out like a river. You flow. You don't crash, you don't freeze, you keep going with control, with clarity, with confidence. Remember that. So, I'm going to go through some rules of how you can apply the power of the pause starting today. Rule number 1. Pause before you answer. When someone asks a question, do you just rush to answer it? Or do you take a moment to think about it and then answer carefully? When you're asked a question, don't instantly reply. Give yourself a buffer. Again, 1 to 2 seconds is okay. If you need a bit more time to think about what you want to say, that's okay. It's much better to start and build momentum as you go than to rush and then freeze. This deliberate choice instantly shifts the status in your favor. So now you are the one in control because you're not rushing to answer any questions. 1 to 2 seconds of pure silence, that's the sweet spot. If I ask a question, now answer. Not if I ask a question, yeah, okay, so blah, 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 blah. No, don't do that, okay? Again, you don't need to take 20 seconds either. But just 1 to 2 seconds, if you do 3 or 4, that's okay. It's much better that you remain in control than rushing to get your words out. When you do that, you're going to make more mistakes, you're going to lose your train of thought, and you're going to lose control of the situation. Rule number 2. 1 idea per breath. Chunk your thoughts into single, separate packages. So what that means is finish 1 idea, then start a new one. Don't bring 2 or 3 or more ideas into one breath. If someone asks a question, answer it directly. Don't take another breath to keep going. 1 idea per breath. Practice that. This will help you chunk your thoughts and think in ideas, not single words. Stop entirely. Once you finish an idea, a sentence, hit a hard stop. 1 to 2 seconds. Don't merge sentences or ideas using connector words like and or so. Just pause. Then keep going. Then continue. Only resume speaking once your mind has locked on to the next idea. Because most people I work with, they're smart, they're intelligent, they have achieved success in their careers, in their businesses. They are intelligent and they have lots of ideas. But when they try to connect them all in one speech and just get them all out at once, again, native or non-native speakers the same, it doesn't come out clearly to the listener, and that loses trust and authority. So by finishing an idea, pausing, and then starting a new idea or a related idea, that's so much better. Okay, so that's rule number 2. Rule number 3, pause after key points. When you make a key point, this can be in answering a question, telling a story, describing something, explaining something. When there's an important moment or an important point, pause. If everything you say is at the same speed, nothing will stand out. Highlight key ideas, key concepts using empty space. This lets your message land. Your listener will then have a moment to register, to compute what you are saying. Let important ideas land with your audience before rushing ahead to explain them. Just like I did there. If I finished let important ideas land with the audience before rushing ahead to explain them, so then they can da. That then it's not landing. You're not now grasping the idea as clearly as you would have if I just gave you 1 to 2 seconds to do that. Okay? Let it land. Silence is the punctuation mark of spoken authority. Silence gives you authority. Listen to powerful speakers. They wait. Just between ideas, between moments, they wait. They don't rush. That control gives you so much more power, more influence, more trust. People look up to you. Leaders talk like that. They don't rush, they don't panic, they don't over-explain. They speak with clarity. Rule number 4. Remove filler words. This is a big one. A lot of people I work with use filler words. It's not a crime, but it definitely doesn't help their message land. Remove them. Consciously murder the like, you know. It's kind of like anything like that looks like insecurity. Now, I'm not saying you can never use them. Everyone does. I do. It's not like they're not a natural part of speaking. They are. But don't overuse them. If you're in a moment and you want to make an impact, if you start using lots of filler words, you immediately lose the attention of your audience. And you don't want that. By removing them, and I've seen this many times, by simply removing filler words, it makes someone's authority, their English, their communication skills so much better by just removing filler words. Silence sounds stronger. An empty pause commands deep focus. A low-value filler word, invites interruption. That's it as well. If you keep using fillers, you invite people to want to interrupt, and they're not trying to be rude, they're almost trying to help you out. So by replacing fillers with a pause, and now I've told you, you have awareness. The awareness is the first step towards improving this. I'll give you a task at the end, but I really want you to work on this if this is something you do. Because I tell you now, just by removing fillers, instantly you can improve your authority and the power of your speech. Replace them with pauses. Practice. So everyone watching, please do this. 10 questions every day. Answer 10 questions. This is the daily drill. If this is something you want to apply into your own speaking, you want to do public speaking, you want more opportunities, you don't just want to speak English, but you want to speak it well, with authority, with control, with respect. Do this practice. Repetition is the mother of mastery. By doing this consistently, you will naturally start to do it without thinking. But first, you must consciously do it. Answer 10 random questions today. Go to ChatGPT, ask it to give you 10 random questions. Do that every day. Simple. Enforce a strict 2-second initial pause. So, after each question, just pause for 2 seconds before you start to answer. Include at least 3 mid-answer pauses. So during your answer, pause at least 3 times between ideas, between sentences. Application. And just to be clear, that all of this you can find in the Speaking Gym, where you can record yourself and post it for feedback as well. I will mention that again later. Application. After you've practiced this, I want you to build confidence applying the power of the pause. Do it in your next high-stakes meeting if you work at a company or you work with English, or a routine team meeting if this is something you need for your professional life. If not, just do it in your next conversation in English. Start with one. Don't overcomplicate it. Just focus on using one solid pause before you speak. Get into the habit, build the awareness, build the control, and over time it will become so normal that you're not even thinking about it, and that will make you a more powerful speaker. Slow down your timing. This is the big takeaway. Slow yourself down. Don't speak too fast. Not your ideas. Your ideas, keep them there. Just control them. Choose the moments when to bring them out. Don't rush to bring them out. This will cause you to lose your listener and lose respect in those meetings. Control changes everything. Control your speech. Control your flow. Pause. Replace filler words. Speak with clarity, with confidence, with authority. And if you want a place to practice, as I mentioned, you can join the English speaking gym. Here you can see some of our wonderful members there in, I think that's a monthly kickoff call we do. But you can join live events, daily practice, you get feedback from coaches, you get so much support. We give you an entire platform to train your voice in English every day with amazing people from around the world, and you can try for free. There's a link in the description. Just click that, come claim a free trial, and I look forward to seeing you inside.